All right, there we go. We're gonna get the stream starting up here. There we go. It's looking good. There we go. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, in this stream, I'm just going to be doing some ripping of models for Destiny 2, I think, for today. I've just been ripping a bunch of gun models for Unreal Engine 5. I recently just imported my entire FPS template that I had. That was like a Destiny FPS template that I've been working on. And I ported it from UE4 to UE5. So Unreal Engine 5 adds all special perks, nanite, lumen, lighting, all that kind of great stuff. But for now, I'm just going to go ahead and import a model into Blender, rig it up, get all the materials and stuff onto it, and I'll kind of show you my process for it right here. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. Get some water. There we go. Booting up the Destiny API Ripper extension. Alright, as soon as it boots up, it loads everything there. I technically been loading all weapons from the new war and all that stuff. So I'm going to go to Light GG. That's what's been helping me a lot lately. So let me have that on my other screen right now, but that is fine. I just been loading up season 1 stuff for at the moment, so I'm gonna bring this in here so we have it. I'm gonna choose weapons and filter that out one more time there. So I've been importing a bit of these weapons in. I'm not importing every single one. I'm just importing more of the iconic weapons like Better Devils, Dire Promise. I like especially all of the Trial of Osiris weapons that were in the very first season of the Red War. So I've been importing those in quite a bit. So I think I'm on the next page already, or at least a couple of pages in. Let's see. And of course I have the Cretacean right here that I imported in. Let's see. And a bunch of the raid weapons as well I've imported in. Let's see though. Trying to remember where I left off exactly. I got this guy right here. This is a pulse. I don't know if I imported the pulse in yet. That might be the next one I might need to do. I'll check and see if I have that. And also there's a scout here as well. So I'm just going to shove this off to the side so I have it there to look at right there. I think that's a dress is what it's called. So I'm going to go ahead and do a little sort through on this one. Since all the weapons that I'm looking for are just going to be legendary, and I'm not going to have any armor in this one. And I have been importing armor as well, but just not as much since I created my armor inventory system. And I still need to incorporate my weapon inventory system, like the old one, into the new one that I've created out. So I still need to work on that. But for now, things kind of work, but in their separate ways at the moment. And you'll see as soon as I build out my model and ready for importing to UE5. Once you see that, and you see the whole process of what I need to go through to actually make it work. So anyway, this is the pulse right here. I want to have that here. I need to look up my file structures real quick. If I can bring anything up. No, I don't need that open. Let me go into my rips here for my models. Go into my weapons. Red War. Do I have this? I do. Looks like it's an older version though. I'll open up in Blender right now. These are models that were already ripped already, and they're in currently they're ripped from the Discord community, which I have in a link, by the way. It's a Destiny model rips. The Discord link is in there if you want to go to that. They have a link that's a Google Drive, and it literally has everybody's community imports that they did on there from the rips. So you don't even have to do this whole process that I'm doing for some of this stuff. You can go through here on this end. Looking at this here though, there's new process that we do, and that's not too bad though, looking at this here. I'm gonna leave it like this. Let's go ahead and get a nice zoom in here. I'm gonna get rid of all this lighting and that camera. I don't need that. So what is this? That's the meshes right here. These are area lights. I don't need these either. I'm just gonna delete stuff here. That doesn't look too bad, to tell you the truth. That's not too bad. I need to look at the materials. Let me check it out for each one of these meshes. Oh, yeah, it looks like these meshes were, yeah, gone through the process already. But the thing is since now this is kind of like an older file, I do have newer files now that I can actually use, and I can actually have 2K textures on here. I'm not sure if these are 2K textures or not at all. They might be. These look pretty good, but I might use a combo of some of these textures that are here already, particularly the sites. For some reason, when I import sites and stuff, like, I can't get exactly what I want, and sometimes I do bakes off of whatever created it before. So this is what I might do. I'm going to close this down for now. I'm going to go through the entire process I usually go through. So what ended up happening, I select my weapon, and it goes over here into like a tray. Whatever's in this tray, if I execute the queue in here, what it's going to do, it's going to rip this model for me with all its textures, even sometimes a rig as well. So we'll see what happens when I do that. But technically the older weapons from like the very first season of when Destiny 2 launched, it doesn't usually have a rig. It has like a full person rig, and you'll see it as soon as I execute it here. So let me do this. It's going to run through its batch code over here down below. It's going to call its manifest there, and as soon as it's done, it's got to rip a few things right here. It's not, when it says done on that first thing, it wasn't actually done. So we'll let it go through its thing real quick. Yep. I think it's done. That rip looks like it's good for there. So let me go ahead and minimize that real quick. I'll open up, let's see, I have two here. I can use this for that one and this for the other, like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and just load up weapons. Oh, not yet. I need to open up rigs. I usually have like a template, Blender template. This is where I import usually all of my armor models and skeletons for all my Destiny 2 stuff, so I can rig them in a UE4 or actually just in an Unreal Engine rig, so I can do it for. But in this case, I just import all my weapons and build up my weapons in here, so I have a proper scaling when I import it into Unreal Engine 5. So it pretty much has the correct unit scales in there. That's pretty much what it has at the end of the day. So what I'm going to do here is import a certain file. The one on the exports, I can show it on here when I do this. So I'm just going to go here in a drop down. It's 2 rips, and it's going to be, this is the export where I ended up going, and where I ended up going was here. But before I actually do this part, I'm going to go back a step so I could just do that. I'm going to rename that one file from the outside, so when I actually import it in, I can keep it as that. And you know what? I'm not going to even like keep it in that one stash there. Let me see if I can do this real quick. No, I can't. Let's see. I can just go like here. There we go. Just gonna rename this ignoral address. I can't do these names sometimes, man. There we go. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and gonna go ahead and plop that into the weapon legendaries. Oh, you know what? I kind of need to rename that because there is already a folder labeled as Ingles address there. So I'll just say this is the 2.0 version of it. I'm going to go ahead and get it in there. And I'll probably delete the other one later on that factor. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to go into my weapons, legendaries, and then here, and here it is. This is the one we're on, 2.0. And what it is, I'm looking for like a model.dae. What this does, it imports everything I want correctly. It's quite nice. It's a good import they can do. So it's just a special import that from that program, from this program here. It just sets everything up so that everything's kind of localized, really nice. So you can import it this way here. And when it imports, it's going to import all parts together like this. I'm going to go ahead and hide my character model. So this is what actually imported in here. And if you can see, it has like this skeleton that's attached to the weapon. It's really nothing special. This is the Bungie skeleton, I guess. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to delete the skeleton since it's no longer going to be used. And if you notice that you think that I actually deleted the weapon, but I actually have the meshes over here. They're just extremely tiny. So I have to scale these up by 100 times its scale. Because the unit scale is like really small in the game itself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all of them here, and then I'm going to hit S and then scale it by 100. And now it's all scaled up appropriately to its correct size. And also what I'm going to do is Control A, and I'm going to do all transforms. So it's going to apply all the transforms that I made. If you look over to the right here, it's like 100. So if I import it into Unreal Engine, the whole scaling stuff's going to be off. So, but if I do this though ahead of time, it's going to fix all my problems. And you see now it's all like 1 for each one of these. So that's all good and set in ground. So this is all saved here. Let me go ahead and save this blend file into a save as, and we'll go to our particular weapons, legendaries there. There we go. And I go or here. Whoops, I actually want to just do a whoop. Come on now. Copy this. Can I just copy that, please? Or I just wanted to, I guess F2 would have done it. Yeah, that works. So I'm going to go in here, and I'm going to go to paste the name there. I can go back there. There we go. And I'm just going to do save as. There we go. So our file's all saved up. Now I can start adding my shaders, all that stuff to it. This one doesn't look too bad. A lot of models. I'm actually going to create a collection here. There it is. And I can just paste that in there like that. There we go. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all of the model parts and put them into there. And now it's all nice one for me. The next thing I'm going to do here is going to create a little tab like this. I'm going to change this one and turn it into material for me. And I really don't need that little stat right there either. I'm going to just press N key to get rid of that. So what I want to do is append. I want to append one of these guys. I want to grab kind of like a template folder that is available also in the model Discord, by the way, for it. The whole instruction series on that. It's really good. So what I'm looking for is this Destiny 2 like player gear like shader. This is really good. And it pretty much it's able to take the textures that we have, because there is 3 different textures. There is a I'll show it in this case. I can explain a little better from there. So I'm going to do append on this one and go into go back a step, don't want to miss anything. So go to material right here, and there's 3 different types that are there. And what we want to do is use the Destiny 2 one. There's Destiny 1 in here as well for weapons and armor. These are useful if you're doing Destiny 1 models particularly. But in this case, we're using the Destiny 2 model, so we're just going to go ahead and do this. And it works for both. So now it's already in here, and you can see it's listed in here. So what I need to do is click on the first mesh. Usually I click on the top one here, and then I can click here, and then I can choose the material. So if you notice here, the whole thing's all blacked out, by the way. Oh, another thing that I should do, oh, we're in shading already, so that's a good thing. So that's already done. So the one thing I need to do here is kind of look over here a little bit. So there's something called a die slot. Die slots don't usually come until like was released before Beyond Light and stuff, so it's a situational thing when you actually use this. So you don't use this all the time, especially before Beyond Light DLC, the DLC expansion that came out for Destiny 2. You don't have to worry about that too much. So let's look here, for instance. We're going to go ahead and open the first file. There's 3 files that there usually is. There's a diffused image, a G-stack, and a normal map. A diffuse, it's kind of like your... it can be converted into like your color maps, particularly. A G-stack map gives off your roughness, your metallic, and all those chemicals that assigns to different structures of your weapon or armor, particularly. And a normal is just like your normal stack to gives that extra depth of dimension into your model. So, but the G stack's only a weird one that you have to worry about because Bungie uses that, and that's how they can limit on how many textures actually use by using this G stack prefactor here. So let's go ahead and jump into it a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and start importing some of the stuff here for it. Right now I'm currently in the file for that 2.0 folder for the address. So what I'm gonna do is go into the HD textures, because these right here, these textures that are right here, I'm gonna do this. These are like 1K textures. They're very blurry for what you really want for an FPS. Like, you're gonna have this gun literally right up to your face, so we need 2K textures for this to make it look right. The thing is that I noticed with Bungie weapons, they don't have a 2K texture for like the back of your weapon sometimes, so it kind of depends how it kind of works out. So sometimes I have a 2K texture, sometimes I don't. So let me go into the AC textures here. I'll go in here like this, and everything's all like in weird factors and numbers and stuff. This is like kind of like a little bit of a guessing game on which one goes where, but you can kind of tell like which ones actually go together. Like, for instance, let's do this one here. This, and these 3 right here. This is a diffuse, this is a normal, and this is a G-stack. Obviously, you can see the very end tag of that. That's what it is. But you can see the shape of them are the exact same. So when you're going to group these together in a row like this, you would group it together like that. So let's go ahead and we'll group these together first and see what we can get out of it. So I'm going to group that one first with it right there. And obviously I have to go back into here again and then go into the G stack. The thing is, when you change these up, you have to change this to a non-color, because you don't want to take the color of it. All it is selecting like a diffuse and all that stuff from it. So let's go ahead and go into the last one for the normal map. We'll go and choose that and do the color. I don't think this is correct. There's way too much black out in here and stuff. By the way, everything won't look the way that it should until the final product, because we have to do one extra step to this. But what it does is it kind of color code stuff in like reds, blues, sometimes different colors, but it would look correct. This right here is not right, so I need to choose a different stack of materials, not materials, but textures that will work together for this one. I think we'll probably use this one here, so I'll go to the next just biggest one, since this is a big part of the weapon, and we'll just use it that way. So I'll get the G stack in here. I got to make sure I change it to a non-color, and then change this one here to a normal, and I'll use this for color. This is looking better, but I don't it's hard to tell sometimes with this.
Because I assure you, I've done a lot of really stupid things.
That might be correct. It kind of looks correct to me, but I'm not totally satisfied, so I'm going to check around a little bit, but I might go back to this one. Again, it's a little bit of a game going back and forth on which one's right. So I'm going to try to use this last stack down below and see what it is. I usually use the best one as possible to see which one works, because some things might look kind of right, but they ain't right. Go here to oh yeah, that is more what we want. Something that actually looks like this, like no hard blacks that are through the weapon and stuff. Like this is it. This is 100% it right here. This looks really good. So I'm gonna go ahead and check this one off right here. So what I usually do, I like using name structures for this one. As you can see, you have like these numbers that are correlating here, like 0.0.000 and then 0.0.001. These are typically right here. These groups right here would probably be the same texture throughout. There's no guarantee, but it's like 98% most likely. So what I'm gonna do here for this one, I'm gonna change to save this one here. I'm just gonna go ahead and change the name for this, so I can go into here. Actually, you know what? I already have it right here for me. except I wanted to do an underscore. Underscore is important for, I guess, Unreal Engine will change it for that, but they will change it by default if there's no underscore or some dash in between. It gets a little wonky on that part. So I'm going to do dot 1, 2, 3. I think that'll be good. Yeah, that's what we'll call that material for this one here. So I'll go to the next one here. If you look right here, I can, let's see, what is that part? So that part goes to there like that. So I'm going to go ahead and use the same material that I just did here and assign that, and that looks good. Yet again, it's like the same number chain of command there. It kind of goes in line with it. So there's the next spot right here for it. It's this one here. It looks like it's more of like the graphics that go on there. So there we go. Those are nice and blue. I've noticed, by the way, the graphics are like the little kind of like things that get applied onto the mesh. It looks like it. Those are usually come out as a blue. So here's the next one. I'm pretty sure it's going to be the same one again, and yeah, that's just blue there as well. This weapon's going to turn out pretty nice, by the way. I'm already looking pretty good. So then we got this here for this weapon. This will definitely look like it's a new part of the material for it. So let's go ahead and we're going to change it to this material that we have now. But I'm going to go ahead and click this little button here. This creates a 0.001. So this is now a new material. So I can change these textures out without changing the previous ones. Very important. I'm going to save real quick as well and see how that goes. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and open up these ones real quick. I'm going to try the very top stack again and see what we get with that on it. If you notice, it kind of saved my presets right here. I don't know, let me change color since I already chose those textures before. It kind of remembered my answers, and that doesn't look right. So we need to keep going at it. Maybe the smaller one to tell you. Well, it might be a smaller one. Let's check it. Never say no to it, but I need to make sure since I haven't chose those ones, I already have to change it to a non-color. That's G-stack, non-color, but that doesn't look right either. Bounce it around. We'll try this first one here up top. This one, whoops, I just did the wrong one, I think. I don't know if I did the wrong one or not, actually. There we go. A little lost when I got it. There we go. Take that one there. Non-color. This one don't look right here, by the way. I'm curious. All right. So, well, you know what? Let's try this bigger one, I guess, and see what happens. Whoops. I want that one. There we go. That's starting to look good. There we go. Use that one there. Oh, yeah, that's much, much better. Taking an extra look at it just to make sure it looks okay. You know what I mean? Like, whoops. It's got a little black in there, but I think this is right because it's not really exposed. So, yeah, because it's covered up. I think we'll be okay for that. Let's see, we're here. So this should be actually the same one. There you go, or not. That is not right. Huh. Interesting, interesting. I wonder if I can use just there. No, that won't work either. So this is something different entirely, so I have to change this one out and see what it would look like. So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to create a new material here. And I'm going to change this out to something else. So again, they kind of like these follow in order as a number like 0.00 like 0.001 type thing off of 1. But sometimes it just doesn't work out in this case. And I'm going to try this one again at the very top. See if I get lucky with it. I don't know, man. Whoops. I don't want that one. Maybe, but I kind of doubt it, though, to tell you the truth. Let's see. Like, it could be, but I don't know for sure. It's a little weird. This one's a little bit of a weird one. This one does not look like it at all. Nope, not that one. Let's see what I can get here. I'm assuming it's going to be one of these smaller ones, but I'm not getting a lot of good stuff out of here, really. Let's see. Man, I think the best one was that first option that I had there. Alright, I'm going to go for that first option that I got. The first one there and see. I think this is the one, even though I don't like it that much, but guess that's it. I'll go with it. Alright. So now I got the next one here. This is probably a new material. That's what's happening. I don't know. This is the mag in the back, just independently it looks like. So I'm gonna go through each one of them just to make sure. That's not it, I don't think. It might be, but I'm gonna create a new material for that one, I think. There. And let's see what we can find for this one. I think it's this one right here, to tell you the truth. Let's go ahead and give this a go. There we go. There we go, just like that. I don't know if the music's too loud, by the way. I'm not quite sure if it's too loud or not. I did the test earlier. It sounded okay to me, but if it's not, just let me know in the stream. Anyway, it looks like that one worked just fine, so we can use that one. Let's see, where is this? So we got, this is where a part that I noticed here. They have lots of site stuff, especially when it comes to, well, it might not be as much as I think. Well, I'll give it a pass on it for now, but let's see. Let's see here. Go down one list. There we go. We'll start with this one. I'll talk about it more once we get to that certain part of it. Let's go ahead and see what we got here. I'll try the first one. That's not right, obviously. So I'm just gonna go down through the list. That might be right, actually. But it's all dark at the top, just edges. Whoop. Is that the second one? I don't know, that doesn't look right exactly either. Like, it could be very close to what we need, but tell you too, it looked very close to what we had. And I don't have very many textures left that I've used out of here, technically. At least I don't think I did. Alright, I'm gonna look at this. Let's see, which ones have I not used quite yet? Alright, let's see here. Because I want to make sure I don't create too many materials that I'm just not going to be using out of here. So I kind of get my stuff as best as possible set up. Let's see. I've used that one, that one, that one, that one. To tell you the truth, that might be the best one right there. So I'm going to go with this and stick with my guns on this particular material here for this one. So let's go ahead and check this one out. This is the whole shebang casing right there. I'm assuming it's going to be the same as 2. Yep, and I'm right. That works good there. Alright, cool. So I got this guy and this guy. This is where it becomes a little bit of an interesting thing right here. So I got this. What is that? Oh, it's this. So for some reason, Bungie, I'm pretty sure they do it for a reason, but there's a little artifact in here that Bungie puts in. It's a little piece of a mesh that's in there, and it's the bottom of the gun every single time where it is. There's probably a good reason why it's there, but in this case, we really don't need it. So I kind of go through stuff and just delete it as I go along. But for instance, now I have, I'm going to delete that piece down below. So that's what this one is right here. It's down below. So I'm going to delete this one real quick. I'm kind of leaving the whole scope stuff on there right now. I don't know how much I'm going to keep, because if you look at it, and there's one more down here again, it's like this, it's a little square thing right here. So I'm going to delete that one as well. I probably know why, because you can change sights in your weapon, right? Via in your inventory. And when you change it, these are probably hidden or either shown while doing that, and those have the individual materials that you need that are applied onto that weapon, so you have different scopes on it, you know. That's what I'm assuming what is happening here. So if I hide this one, and hide that one, that hides all 3. This one has like a one where you can have a hole in the middle, and this one right here, you see that? So it has like a different situation that occurs there. So this is quite interesting. I don't know which one I want to use quite yet. I'm hoping that I can use maybe just both of these. I can kind of change these up, and I can just label it as sites. I could just change the material as I would like to it. So for now, I'll just label these as sites, and I can try to create material for it. So I'll create a special material because they actually don't have, well, they do have sites that are in here. They got the dot site, and they have this one here, which I will use, but I use it in a different way in Unreal Engine to get my result. So that's what I'm going to do here. So I'm going to go ahead and create a material for this one, and I'm just going to create it there. Going to Control V, and I need to make sure that get my asterisk in there. Nah, yeah, underscore, I guess, not asterisk. And then it'll be a point, not a point. I just call it underscore sites, and that should work. There we go. That should do it. And I'll make sure that each of them are for sites, because when I change it for the other, it will change all the other ones at once in Unreal Engine. I can always go back later and change these to individual site materials, but for now I just change it as one generic one, just to make my life easy. All right, cool. So that's all done there. I'm gonna go ahead and save this here. Got my weapon all viewed up, looking good. Now I'm gonna go ahead and just, oh, that's right. I need to add my script that goes in here. What's it to do is the script's gonna run, and it's gonna create something very special for me. So I'm gonna go to here to my editor. I'm gonna open up this, and right now I'm in that same folder in here with it's address 2.0. I have the shader right here. I'm going to go to the shader, and I want a blender, and I can do a blender script. So I'm going to hit the little play button here to run it. Even though it looks like it didn't do anything, it did. I'm going to go here now, and I press the N tab. It has this little thing they call D2 shader, and I can press this button here. Be careful, sometimes it crashes, so make sure you say before that it's there, and you'll be good to go. So what I want to do here, when I select my first mesh up here, I can go ahead and select the name here for it. This is the name I want. And look at that. Oh, that actually looks way better than the other one. So this is definitely a good 2K material for sure. All right, cool. And I'm just going to go down through the rest of them. That shares the same material. That shares the same material. That shares the same material. And then this saying no. Yes. Oh yeah, this is a different material right here. So I'm going to make sure and go through each one of my meshes and change the material for each one of them. And here's another one I can change. Here we go. As soon as I can click on it, there we go. And that looks really good, actually. That looks like what it needs to be. So I go here, change this one. I think that was the sites. No, that was the mag in the back. That's what that was. And then that one's there. That looks good. So in general, I think all I went to was a solid 4 materials here with a site material. So not too bad. The less materials that you have to put out at the end of the day in Unreal Engine, the better, because it saves on performance. That's my goal at the end of the day. And the next thing I want to do to save on performance is I'm going to bake out textures. So I bake out the original, and then also I can change colors via on that within a color editor if I want to add that later on. So let's go ahead and start playing around and get my bakes out before I even start rigging and all that stuff to this. So the way that I bake is I copy this node here, so Control C, Control V. I can just pull this up here. So this is the copied version of that right there. And what I'm going to do here is create a image right here. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to call it its address. And the way I'm going to do this is kind of match up my materials in order. So if I go to end here, I'm going to go underscore diffuse underscore bake, and I'm going to do 0.00. This material, if you look up here, so this will apply to that same coordination number as 000, so I know where this one goes onto the weapon. Important to do. And I want this to be a 2K texture, and it should be no problem since these are already 2K as well. I'm going to hit OK. So now it's looking good. Now what I'm going to do here is I have to change this to bake color, this nice little plugin function that's there. If you notice over here, everything's kind of changed in here. It's like a diffuse now. Like it mutes out all of the brightness and like metallic and all that kind of roughness materials, which pretty much gets rid of that G stack. And what it is, it's just going to bake out the color only. And when that happens, you can just apply a single texture on there into Unreal Engine, and it knows exactly what it wants. So it will come out exactly as it comes from Blender into Unreal Engine when I do this bake. So I'm going to go to bake here, and I want to make sure that it's under cycles, by the way. I'm going to go to bake here, and I'm going to do emit. And I'm just going to change this to a 5, don't need that much on there. And I want to make sure I select the meshes that correlate with this material. So whatever material this is here, I select the mesh. Whatever mesh that I select, it will bake those meshes into a nice image for me. So I'm going to go into each one of these here, like this. And I think those are the only ones that are there. It was these 4 meshes that correlate to this material. So I'm going to go ahead and hit bake. Excuse me, I have to clear my throat for a second. And sorry for my squeaky chair, I'm moving around on it. Just get a better footing. And you can see here it's baking out all the stuff. The more meshes that you have selected, the longer it takes to bake it out. So what I'm going to do up here is bring this out. And by the way, if you need to pull your stuff, just hold down your middle mouse button, and then you can kind of drag and pull what you need for yourself. So I'm going to go to image editor right here. I'm going to go to the name of my stuff, and that's not going to help me at all. So I'm going to click on this guy here. I'm also going to copy this verbiage here, so that's like a mouthful to type in. I have that there. So this is my baked out material, the image for what I wanted. So when I put this into Unreal Engine, it will look exactly like it does from Blender. So what I'm going to do here is do a save as material, and right now I'm still in that folder structure, so I'm just going to rename, or not rename, just add a folder called UE files. Hit enter on that, and I'm just going to save it as is, same thing as here, .000, and then save it. And I'm going to go back to my shader here. I'm going to plug this back in here, so when I come back later, everything's back the way that it is before. So for instance, I just did these 4 meshes right here. Those are done. So I'm going to go into here, starts up my next material, and I want to make sure that starts a new material right there. So I got to be aware of that. So it starts a new material. I'm curious if any of them else has that same material used, and it doesn't look like it. So this one looks like here, this is all on its own. I'm going to do a printout on this one. So you're going to do the same process that I did earlier. Control C, Control V this node, bring it up here, rename this one to the bake here, but .001, matching up my material. It's already set for 2K. Hit OK, and have my mesh selected, and then start hitting bake. And that was the only mesh that had that one material, so it should be a fairly quick bake. Yep, that's... Oh, and I cancel this bake because, darn. You gotta make sure you bring this node into there. Can't forget to do that. If you bake it on the final output, it's not gonna give you what you want. So I'm gonna go ahead and bake again. Item selected, we're all good there. Wow. Look at this guy in stream. I need to ban this boy. Wow. That's horrible. Look at this guy. Let's see. How do I remove? Remove. Yeah, get the hell out of here, man. No one needs that advertising crap like that. What the hell? Nope. And let's see. That should be all baked out now. So I'm just gonna go into here And I can go into the bake there. And look at that. Nicely baked out. Nicely squared off. You know what I mean? It looks really good. Let's go ahead. Oh, I'm just sending a message out to my wife right now. Just give me a second. There we go. Send that out. All right, let's go ahead and save as and save this image. This is good here. Go back to materials. Change that back there. Yup. And this go here. So that's use that one there. That's 3, 2, 2. Okay, so this makes it a little weird in some capacity. So here's this one. This one's a 3. That's the only one that's a 3 material. So I'm going to start working on this one here. I'm going to go and copy, Control V, that guy. This will be 2. There we go. Point to 2. Hit OK for that. Now what I need to do is select the ones that I need here. Those 3 right here correlate to material 2, I believe. I'm gonna confirm that. Yep, that's correct. So those are good. And now I can go ahead and before I do that, I forget this quite a lot. Gotta switch that up then. And then hit bake. And did that actually bake? I don't think it did actually. Let's go to the image here. Yeah, that's what I figured. It didn't bake out. Sometimes that happens. When it happens, just go ahead and give it a bake again on this one. Hopefully that worked. That's not right. Why is it not right? So hit here. Hit on this node. Let's give it a bake again. Maybe because I didn't select the node and then bake. Maybe that's why it came out as null. Now this live stream's already gone on for 42 minutes already. That was my first spammer I got on there, by the way. Never had a spammer that came on before, but, you know. You gotta delete those messages. You gotta delete the spam, you know? So. There we go, that should do it. Doesn't seem right to me. Why is there just a dark spot right here? Something doesn't seem right. That could be right, actually. These dark spots with this. I guess that's right. It's just weird. I'm not gonna lie. Alright, so I got these ones here. This should be the last material that I need to do. Control C, Control V. Put that over here. Oh, crap. I have to go back to the editor real quick. Yep. I have to save as. There we go. Save it before I hit all that stuff up. Also, okay, yeah, change this one back to that one. That looks good. Okay. Now that's tier 3. We're good now. Okay. All set. We're all set now. Kind of backtrack on a little bit. Save this one. It's selected. I'm going to select on this one here. Got my node. Oh, bake color, of course. And go for it. I drink more water, man. Throat's filling it. blue. Sorry, I'm texting my wife right now. She's in Korea at the moment, so just kind of touching base and stuff with her. You know, she's on vacation, man. You gotta enjoy. All right. So what I'm gonna do here is go to editor. Ah, see, it did it again. It's just sometimes it picks it up, sometimes it doesn't. You just gotta bake it again. And hopefully it does it. When things bake too quickly, you know that it doesn't work. There we go. That's the one that we want right here. I'm gonna do a save as, and then we're gonna put that sucker right in here. And notice that it looks like a bullet that's there, yeah? Huh. That's kind of cool. Alright, so I'm gonna take this, put it to its original output right there. So, as of here, everything is baked out now. All the sites are there. We're looking good. So what I'm going to do here is I don't need the materials over here, so I'm just going to join that on that side. And this is looking really good. Now what I'm going to do is add my rig. The rigs are pretty easy, to tell you the truth. So what I do is I press 3 on the keypad here, and I go in the side view. I'm going to go ahead and hit Shift A. It's going to add my armature in here. I'm just going to add a single bone right here. And I can... why is it so tiny? Let me... I think we're good now, right? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to try that again. Shift A. Single bone. Oh, I know why I can't see it. I'm going to toggle this and toggle some shading on this, by the way. Oh, there we go. And now I can kind of see it. I'm going to go into edit mode right here by pressing tab. And I'm going to grab it going straight up like that. Just grabbing its head condition there. I'm going to go ahead and grab it and then kind of... Well, you know what? Yeah, I should just... I'm going to grab it just going sideways. Make sure I'm on the Y-axis, I believe it is. And... I'll hit it about there. That's where the root, I think, should be at the end of the day. If you had your hand curved around it, your hand, the middle of your hand should be based around there, I think. So that's what we're going to do there. So for the armature, what I'm going to do is copy my verbiage up here. So armature, so I'm going to give it a little underscore because this will also go into the skeleton factor of it all. So I got this, and underscore there, perfect. And I go here, I want to go with my little bone. It says bone, but I'm going to name it as a root. This will be my root bone. This is where everything gets connected to. So what I'm going to do from here is add just a couple things. I'm going to go ahead and take this bone here. Still in edit mode, by the way. Go ahead and do Shift D. I'm going to go ahead and... Looks like I can just do a rotation based off this. Also, my roll, it needs to be at 0. Go here. Oh, I rolled 0 there. I think it's going to change probably as well, but I'm going to go ahead and rotate this sucker. Gotta go... probably rotate this guy 180 degrees like this. And also, I'm going to turn on some of these nodes for me to make sure my... Whoops. X-axis... You know what? This is weird. Why is it doing that? There we go. My x-axis is going this way right here, and that's it. So as long as we're facing that way, we're pretty good to go. So what I'm going to do here is grab this guy down there. I can grab that part of the node and bring it up like this. And I think when I go ahead and just bring this guy for a rotation, so if I rotate this bone, it will go up this way for the trigger. So I'm just going to leave this one as trigger. Done. Okay. And also I need to take this and shift my root bone. So what you do is you shift one bone and you shift onto the root bone. You control P and you do keep offset. So right now, when I move, well, you can't really do it until you get to the animation right here. So when I go to animation, it moves everything. But if I move this bone, this button moves independently from that one there. But when I move this one, it moves all the same at once. So that's how that works. Oh, click on this, go in edit mode again. So I'm gonna keep creating out my stuff. Next thing I usually do is create, I could just do the mag, I guess. We'll do that. Yeah, we'll keep it like this here. I can go like this. Select this here. I can go down a bit with this one here. Grab it. And that should be a nice big bone that we need there. This will be mag. And I also want to make sure my roll is set for 0. I'll make sure the roll here set at 0 as well. I think there's probably a mag release. I'm not sure if there is or not. Let's check it. I'm not sure, but this model is looking real good and shiny, though. I'm going to tell you that. Let me look up a YouTube video real quick on this one to see how this thing's being held together. So, let's address Destiny, because I have to look up like how this weapon's hold and it's reloaded. Let me do this, and then I will mute this stuff there. I just need to see a basic reload is what it needs. So I'm going to show this here. If you want to look at my process a little bit, what I'm kind of doing here. So here's that reload. Huh. So I'm backing it up. Gets it. Takes out the mag, just reloads it. There's no mag release or anything. So this is a really easy reload mechanic. Oh, by the way, I'm not adding any animations or anything yet. I'm just setting up rigs for the weapons. So these are actually all the bones that I need for this thing. So it makes it really easy. Yeah, so that makes it easy enough for me. So now the next thing I need to do is connect these guys all together. So I'm going to collect on all my meshes first. All right. As soon as I get my meshes selected, then I'm going to go ahead and select on my, well, if I can get my bones. Yeah, these bones are all inside. Select the bone. Nope. Get the bone. Nope. Darn. That makes it... Alright, I can get it. Here we go. Select this. There we go. There we go. That just has to be last is the thing. So you can do Control P and with empty groups. That's what we want. So what's happened here is you notice that on the hierarchy, it all kind of shrunk down and now it's under one thing here. So what kind of happened in this part? So when I grab this, by the way, in object mode, so when I grab my skeleton, it grabs the whole thing and it moves around, which is like, great, it's all connected. But that's not the situation. When I go to my... So I click on my skeleton that I have here, or armature. I go to animation. These bones won't do anything. It doesn't move my trigger. This doesn't do anything. It just grabs the bones. So what I need to do, since I did this with empty groups, I need to assign it. And there's one thing that I should have done before I actually put these all together, is I have these armatures. Oh, I need to go back to object mode, by the way. So what's happened here is there's two armatures. There would have been only one armature, but now there's more, sadly. So that's just how it goes. Oh, by the way, I think I see one viewer. If you're still watching, welcome. Good to have you here. But the one that I want to get rid of, I'm not exactly sure. I think I want to get rid of this one here, the one that's on the bottom. So I'm just going to get rid of each one. So I have to go through each one of these and get rid of them. It kind of sucks because I have to do this also with my Vertex groups. So yeah, I should have done this before I actually grouped this. You know what? I might be able to do Control Z a bunch of times. And before I group it together, I might be able to get away with not doing it. Let's see. Can I? Can I? We'll find out. Control Z to the rescue. Darn. Doesn't look like it. Oh well, I have to do it the old school way. Not really the old school way. The way that I made a mistake. That's alright. I'll go and I'll get rid of it. I guess this is a good reason. So if you ever do it, this is what you'll have to do. So get rid of that top layer. The 0.001 is the new one that was added. So Blender adds stuff individually like that. So get rid of all those. There. This is where it becomes a pain in the butt. So I created 3 bones, yeah. I called one a root, trigger, and mag. all these other bones we need to get rid of. All right. Best way of getting rid of it is go ahead and do this here. So, whoops. Get this fixed. There we go. So lock all 3 of these here, and I can just click on undo. I got rid of my root by accident. So I go ahead and click this little drop down button. Delete all unlocked groups. So all those other ones were unlocked and deleted them all. I need the same thing for all these, which is quite annoying. So, yep, delete unlocked. So I could just do that real quick. So go here, lock all 3, and delete them. Yep. By the way, I just finished watching the Cyberpunk Edge Runner series. Very good, by the way. Very good. Like, oh man. Had me teary-eyed at the last episode. Oh man. Very good stuff, though. It's unbelievable what they're able to pull off. Like, to tell you the truth, the game was a mess when it first launched, and like, it has a lot of lost potential that it had, but my goodness, though, like some bits, like some story bits of things, it just hits hard and it's good. And like, man, dude, I've never felt anything like this in a game before. And same thing with that Edge Runner series. Like, my God, it's good. My God, it's good. It's brutal. It is, but it's very good. That's just Cyberpunk in general, though. So, and I really do enjoy it. Ever since the concept for Cyberpunk came out, it's really amazing stuff. All right, so we need to save this here. Unlock. There we go. All right. Now, if I go through all these here, these are all going to be good to go. So now I need to start going through the process. I'm going to save it real quick. All right. So first things first. So I'm going to go press 3. Look at the side view here real quick. So well, I'm going to skip the root bone for each mesh first, and I'm going to assign what needs to get assigned for this area. This one doesn't have my trigger or my mag, so I need to worry about that. So I'm just going to type everything to the root bone. So I need to go into edit mode, press A, it selects everything right here, and then I'm just going to hit get over here. Come on now. Why is this not select tab? Oh, because they're locked. My bad. They're unlocked now. I need to unlock them for the rest, sadly, but yeah. So I'm going to hit A, and I'm going to hit assign. Also, what I'm going to do here is activate Vertex group weights. So anything that's weighted by a vertex is going to be a color in this one. In this case, it's going to be tied to the root bone. So now if I go into my, if I get out of edit mode, and I click on my skeleton here, or armature I might say, go into pose mode. If I click on this, it moves that part now with it because I tied it to the root bone. Kind of cool, right? So I'm going to go back into object mode and go to my next part of my mesh here, which would be this top part here. So it's going to be a lot of stuff goes to the root bone until I get to the trigger and the mag. So I'm going to type in here. And blue, by the way, color. Blue is something that's not even tied to any type of the mesh. So I'm going to hit A, and I have to, of course, unlock those and go to my, you have to make sure you click on it and assign it to the root. So now it's all assigned to the root. Get out of that, go to object mode, and it's basically just a bunch of rinse and repeat now. That's all it is. Go here, A, assign, whoops, there we go. Go to here. I just did this one, right? Yes. So go here. There we go. I'm going to hit A for that. Assign, make sure my root bone's selected. Go back to object mode and just rinse and repeat for everything. All right, so this is where I have a trigger on this location. So I'm going to go to there. So I'm going to go ahead and assign my trigger first. So I'm going to click my trigger. I'm going to select this area here. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to turn on wireframe. There, to get it all selected. Do Control L, so it should wrap around my entire trigger, which it did. So you can kind of like do the G command and move it around and make sure it got everything. And now I'm just going to go ahead and assign it to my trigger. All right. So now everything else that exists here So I could just do, I could select, while I'm on my trigger, I can do select, so it selected that. I could do Control I, so it does the inverse of the selection that's not selected. And then I can click on my root and assign on my root. So now it's all selected there. Kind of cool, right? So before I go to that one, get out of object mode, I'm going to go back to my solid there, and I go to this one. This one's just more the same. It's going to be more just all to the root. Unselect that, go to the root, assign it, done. Next one. This is my mag, by the way. So, and I believe all of this right here is all mag. So I can just go here, assign it to my mag. No root bones needed for this one. It's going to go with it, so no problem there. I go to the next one here, hit A on this one, root. Make sure those are not selected there. All right, and make sure I go back there. Yeah, we're good. A. Is it selected? Looks like it's in blue though, right? It is in blue. Assign. There we go. Now it's in red. There we go. That was kind of weird. So this A unlocked. Assign. There we go. And unlock these guys here. A, assign, go to here, go there. Those are all unlocked. Okay. Oh, I can't go there quite yet because I was in edit mode. Okay, I need to make sure that that's good. Yep. That's technically good. That's not. Unlock it. There we go. Kind of makes it a little confusing, doesn't it? Okay, so next one here. I go in object mode again, unselect these, go to here, hit A, assign, done. All right, so now I should be all rigged up for the most part. I can go back to, you know what, I'll just stay in this mode right here, and I can just go sideways like this. So what I'm going to do is go into animation here. So now if I go ahead and select my root bone, just that one there, and I grab it, it should move everything all at once, which is great. It moves everything. When I move this bone here, when I rotate it, it should rotate to pull the trigger. And this one, when I grab it here, it should just be able to pull out the mag. There we go, like that. For the trigger though, I'm going to do some limitations for animation for next time when I go to animate it. So go here, I'm going to select these, and I'm going to put for, I think it's an X rotation, I'm not quite sure. I'm going to lock locations for this one, but so if I did the grab one, it would only do this rotation model, so I don't have to worry about it moving anywhere else. So that makes it kind of nice. And I think we're pretty much good and rigged up here for this one. Let's go to material here for this one. Go ahead and save. And I think we're good. This weapon is pretty chill, looking nice. Huh. Interesting grab of metal there. Anyway, let's go ahead and we'll do an export of this model, and we're looking pretty fine with this one. Why did it like go there all of a sudden? That's kind of weird. All right, I'm also gonna go ahead and turn off those. I don't need those no more. Okay, gonna go back. Oh, object. That's why it was acting weird. So I was gonna select it here and then kind of space it so it looked kind of pretty for its spacing. So next time I use it. Anyway, let's go ahead and we're gonna select everything in here. So everything's selected, and we're going to export. If I can choose export, FBX. And I'm going to go ahead and put it into this file here. And I have a preset here, by the way, for Unreal Engine. The preset for it is selected objects right here. And geometry, I put it for face. So you want to make sure you have face. Armature, I do only deform bones. I don't think this really matters for weapons and stuff as much, but I just do it for this case because I will have it for my skeleton models for armor and all that stuff, so it makes it a little different. And I just uncheck bake animations for now because I don't need it. The name of the weapon is almost fine. I just need to add a underscore there, and we're good to go. Let's go ahead and bake this sucker. Yeah, let's go ahead and bake this one out. All right, we should be baked and good to go. Let's go ahead and we'll load up the Epic Launcher, and we'll go ahead and load it up. Load up our project. Man, I'm starting to get a little hungry today. I wonder what I should eat. Oh, I got pre-ordered Dead Space. It's kind of like a Halloween thing for Dead Space, I guess. Like, I could have just played the original one, I think, and I'd be totally happy, even though it's kind of on the older end, I guess, but I don't know, man. No, what I'm going to do for this one is I'm going to just close down this for now, since I really don't need it at the moment, because I think I'll just import this weapon, get it all set up to, excuse me, what I need, and then I'll probably call it quits for today. Not part. Took so long to import this weapon, it seems like, but usually it doesn't take this long, because I guess I don't explain everything that I do, but yeah, that's what that was. Yeah, I hope you really appreciate it, though. You know what I mean? Let's see. I'm gonna load up. There's that video for it. I'm gonna go ahead and put on that for there. While this is loading up right now, I'm gonna go ahead and bring this in a little bit to get an idea of how close. If we can get this in here a little bit. So this is what it looks like looking down sights, so I'll keep that in mind there as well. We're not too zoomed in, really, but this is what we'll kind of like have as a factor when zooming in down a weapon. Let's put that off to the right. We'll load in. Another thing that I try to keep in mind is hand placement for the left hand, like where is it put on the weapon on there as well. So, you know, once I get to that, once it loads up, I can show you that. Oh, man. I am ready. I am ready for the weekend. If you're not from a different country or anything like that, like in Asia or anything, it is Friday at the moment, and I can't wait for Saturday. So, you know, work's already done actually, so I'm actually just enjoying Friday as of now. So I really do enjoy that. So yeah. It seems like it takes longer and longer for this project to load. Probably because I do have a bunch of textures in there that it takes the cache, I guess. But as soon as you open it once, it opens faster. But if you, like, turn off your computer and you haven't opened up a project in a while, it kind of does this kind of process for it. So yeah. I've also been working on a bunch of VR stuff lately, by the way, in one of my Unreal projects. So I might be live streaming that, but it is a little funky to live stream stuff like in VR. I haven't actually done that before, so I can only assume that it might be weird or whatever, like doing game dev kind of work in VR. I don't know if it's much different or not. I don't think it is. I guess you can just see what it looks like in a window version of what I look like when I'm testing stuff out. Like, VR dev is actually really difficult to do because you constantly have to put on your headset and take it off constantly. It's absolutely ridiculous. Like your head hurts and neck hurts after a while, and you're just like trying to test stuff constantly. Anyway, we're booting up now. All right, get rid of that notification on the right there. So this is the project. Looks very much the same as the UE4 project, but now it's here. Also, I have this weapon that I imported in. I think I already put it in the other, so I'll just boom, get rid of that. And I'll just go ahead and save that there. Let's go ahead and go into my legendary Season 1 Red War, and then I'm going to go ahead and add a new folder. Add the folder there. It's complaining because I don't have something in between or just together, so I'll add that. And with all my folder structures, I just add a folder called textures, like that. And I'm going to go ahead and start adding everything I need from my folder. It's this folder, by the way. So I add my FBX file first. It's going to ask for a skeleton, but the skeleton's already there, so I'm going to import it as is. So, yes, and it wrote my skeleton. My skeleton's there. As here, so I'm going to let it boot up all its stuff here for it as of there. And I'm going to go ahead and import all my baked textures, by the way, all my baked ones. So there should be 4 of them there. So plug those in. Now I need to plug in all the HD textures that I actually used. And in this case, I don't need any diffused textures, by the way. So that's just a heads up for you right there. So I don't need any of these diffused textures that are here. The reason why is because these are now my diffused textures with color. So I don't need to add anything extra on my end, like trying to figure out what color is which one, doing like a color picker. I can actually have it perfectly from Blender. So, and you'll see what it looks like as of here. So, but I don't need any of these diffused ones. All I need is the G-stack texture and the normal texture. So I'm going to put those in. I'm going to bring all of those and these guys in there. So that should be good. So yeah, that should be it because it's a combo of what I have here. So I'm going to bring those in. Those are all brought in. That looks good. Also, I'm going to bring in that the site thing diffuse, and I have a special material that I created for this in Unreal Engine, and hopefully it comes out sort of okay. Sometimes it doesn't come out the way that I want and I have to modify it or either play with it later on. I'm still trying to fine-tune it a little bit to make it work. But right now I'm just saving all the materials and XBX stuff that I put in here to make it look good. I mean, make it look good, just to save it. Ugh. Alrighty. Let's see, minimize that. Bring out that a little bit right there. There we go. Okay, cool. So that's all here. So what I need to do is go into my main. I created these materials here. These are actually, these base materials are in the Discord on the Google Drive library. These materials are already pre-made in there. So if I double click in here, it's going to take a minute, by the way, because it's a lot of data. Actually, not as bad as I thought. Just open up right there. So a lot of information that gets put in here. I did not create like any of this. I edited some stuff, but not much. You can kind of grab it from the normal source and make it work for yourself, really. So what I'm going to do is create material instance right here. Name it just as that. I'm going to change the name anyway, but we'll use the exact name condition. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plop my material here, move it, and it moved it to there. So it's on the outside folder. So that is right here. I'm going to go and rename it to this one, but rename it with a inst abbreviation at the end. So underscore int. There you go. Alrighty. So I'm going to go ahead and open up this guy here. So what it is, it opened up this here for me. I'm going to unselect all these here, or not select. I mean, I said unselect. I mean select. There you go. And I'm going to go ahead and change these colors to white. These are technically color pickers. You can change the whole outlook of material later, and I'll show you what it kind of looks like. But for now, I have it as white as a default. White will let you show your baked material of what you already have. So it would be a baked material of the color that you already had from Blender. That's what we already did. So I want to go ahead and save it in here. I'm going to move this over here to the right-hand screen, but I'm pretty much just dragging and dropping all of my textures here. I'll kind of show you for like the first one, and then I will just not do for the rest. So what I'm going to do is look for that number naming convention that I had here. So this one right here is the 000. So I'm going to use this, but this one matches up with these 3 right here. So that's what that works. So I'm going to drag this first one. This one will go into the diffuse because that's like the bake diffuse is what that is right there. And I want to plug in the rest of these here. That G stack goes here. And the normal map goes right here. Everything else looks pretty good. You can change a lot of other stuff in here, like the glossiness and all this stuff. I kind of leave it standard for now, and I change it out later when I need it. So for now, I don't need anything changed, so I'm just going to leave it as is. Also, if there was an emissive that you had, you can put an emissive color in there and add it. But I don't think there was any emissive thing that was on the weapon. So if there was, you can add it via in here. Also, there is tile diffuses, but this is not really needed since I already have everything baked on this one, so it's not really needed at this point. So I'm gonna go ahead and save this here, exit out there. At this point, I'm gonna open up the skeleton of the weapon here. Skeleton of the weapon, it kind of shows me all materials over here on the left hand side. I'm gonna click here. I'm gonna choose the material that I just created, that instance, and it should, whoops, slow down my camera a little bit. And look at that. That looks really good. And it's right here for me. So pretty much exactly as it was in Blender is now in Unreal Engine. I noticed that it used to be more shiny in Blender, to tell you the truth. At least it looked more shiny. Like it looked a little more shinier, I guess, right? You can actually change that by changing the values in here. That's where you actually change the values to make it look more shiny and all that kind of stuff. So, but in this case, I really don't care at this point. I just want to get the materials on it and then move on from there. I can always change that later on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this material instance here. I'm going to rename, or not rename, yeah, I'm going to rename it and name it as this one here. There we go. Double click on this one. I'm just going to plop this over here. And I want to start adding the rest of it. So I'm just going to go with it, make it quick. Got off on my other monitor, so to make it work for me nice and easy. Why don't I see this one? Huh. Did I not bring those ones in? I guess I didn't bring these two in. Yeah, I'm bringing these two in, by the way. It was these two pair. You probably caught that earlier, but I did not catch that. So I got these in. Gonna save them real quick so I have no problems later on, and I'm gonna add it to my colors there. There we go. And this should add it here. So that's the bottom stack. That looks pretty good. I think it looks good. Yeah, that's it. Yep, perfect. We're good. Okay. I like this song. It's really chill. It's kind of like upbeat, you know what I mean? I kind of like that. I'm going to duplicate, Control V. Let's go. Going back to Cyberpunk just a little bit there. I'm thinking about just replaying it. I played it as a not an Outlander. I forgot what it's called. It's called something. I can't remember what it was. The one that lives out in like the boonies type thing or whatever. But I want to be that type. I mean, I was that character. Now I want to be a corpo and see how that kind of works out. I want to use this one now since this is the back mag. Since I just used, yeah, I just used that one. So I need this one here. There we go. G stack normal. Sorry, I got a little carried away. I start one conversation, but I end up getting in work and I get myself into trouble for doing the wrong thing. Well, anyway, yeah, I want to do a corpo and see how that kind of works out. I wonder how nice it'd be. That's not too bad. See how I know it's not crazy different, but I know it's a little bit more different than like Street Kid or whatever. Anyway, let's go ahead. I'm going to this one here. Copy that and duplicate. There we go. And close that one out. And I could choose this one. That was 3. That one's the center one. Yeah, so you just kind of look for the meshes and kind of get things right there, you know? And save it. And go back to... Oh, I closed that down for some odd reason. And this one needs to be the mag. Why does the camera's so fast sometimes? And then this would be 3. That would be the mag. And then the sights, I have to change that one to something special. All right, so I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna minimize this, go to materials. I have this transparent one. I'm gonna create a material instance there. Yeah, drop that in. There we go. And I want to name it the same name as the material here. Go here. All right, I'm gonna open up this one. So this one here for its material, I have an emissive on here, and then the color I can change it. So this is the emissive strength, so how bright it's gonna kind of be. Then I got there's 2 layers of like color that are here. One's is like the base color of what it is, and then the other one's the other. So I'm gonna go ahead and change out the texture to what I need here. Yeah, this thing's not perfect. I don't know if it's gonna work at all. That is gonna look weird, I think, but I'm gonna crank this up to like a 5. And the look on the weapon, it was like a magenta type of color, so I'm gonna kind of match that a little bit. Not to be exact, and I will probably change this up later to make it look more what I need. I think it's like this, I guess. That's more of a hot pink. I think that's more of what we want right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and copy the same here, paste. That's somewhat similar. This ain't gonna be what I need though, sadly, but it's good enough for now. Just to get my point across what needs to happen. So inst. So if I go here, that's actually quite interesting. Not what I want, but damn, does that look interesting though. It's kind of an interesting side. We'll roll with it for now. I want to make it look probably more what it needs to look like, but that's not too bad. So right now I want to delete all of the materials that came in port originally, because we don't need them no more because we replaced them with our material instances. And I'm going to delete these, no problem now. So I'm going to save this. So now what I'm going to do, since this is a pulse rifle, yeah, I'm going to go ahead into weapons, legendary, red war. I need to find another pulse rifle if I can find one. Which one is another pulse in here? I thought I had another pulse in here. I should figure out which one was a pulse though. Crown splitter, Ghost Primus. You guys probably know which one it is, I'm guessing. I don't know which one it is, sadly. I have to figure out which one, because I kind of just want to copy an existing pulse, because that has all the settings for a pulse rifle. Like it fires 3 times, you know what I mean, off a burst and all that kind of stuff. That's fine. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to... Okay, Prospector. Gotta find it though. I was like, should. And is this a pulse? That's a scout, I think. Relentless. This looks like a pulse. I think this one was a pulse. Yes, this one's a pulse rifle right here. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to duplicate it. And then I'm going to change... Whoops, that's not the name I want. Let's see. I want to use... I'll go to this. I'll go ahead and I'll duplicate it. Use that one there. I'm going to plug it into... There it is. Plug it in here. Dropped it in. And I need to change the name to the correct name here. There we go. Underscore. That's not an underscore, that's an underscore. BP. So, I have this here. I'll open up the blueprint. I'm going to throw it over here. Open this up. And I'm going to change out the weapon that I want here. So, I'm going to do... address. There we go. And then change out the third person one as well. There we go. So it changed out for both of the weapons. So if I go here, it's there now. And I can always change the position of what I have there, but I think what I have will work good for now. I'm going to go to this top shelf. I'm going to type in ADS. So end down sights, that's what that is. And this is going to apply correction to it and then like zoom in scope for like FOV and stuff like that. I'm going to go ahead and put this off to the right hand side on my my other monitor so I can do that. But I'm going to change all my settings based in here because I have to do some testing now with some ARM stuff. This is where it comes a little bit more tedious. I could probably make this process a little easier. I just haven't gotten there yet. So I'm just going to start going at it now. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and expand this real quick. I'm going to go into my inventory. I'm going to go ahead and add some arms. I really just need the arms for now. So I'm going to grab the weapon. The left hand's a little too high by the looks of it because my thumb is clipping through and stuff. When I aim down sights, it's not too bad, but I probably need to zoom in more, obviously. And then fix up my ADS because where my dot is right now, that ain't right. I'm clipping through the weapon. So I got some things I need to edit. So the first thing I'll focus on is the ADS, which is the correction there on this one. So I'm going to do -2 in that direction there. Go to Control P. Try this again. I'm not going to worry about the hands for now. I'll worry about that last. So I'm just going to worry. Oh, I went down the wrong direction actually. I need to go -8. I'll try that because I was -5 before. And my number countdown. Okay, that's too high. So I'll try -6. And this is like where Fanaticling kind of needs to get in. So that seems a little too low. So I could do like -7 now, maybe? Maybe I should have done like -6.5 or something like that. That's almost it. Obviously, I'm farther off to the right, which is a problem. So I need to fix that. Also, FOV needs to be like 1.6 maybe, something like that. So I'll fix that as well. That looks exactly the way that it looked like in that YouTube video, by the way. Yeah. And down sights is about that close to it for the FOV for that. So that's not too bad at all. So I'm gonna focus on that right now. So oops, grab the weapon. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I just need to have this thing a little off to the left, maybe a little lower. So maybe I'll do like a 6.5 for adjustment on height and lowerness. Oh crap! What was that? Oh, I didn't do -6.5. There we go. Negative and positive, very different set of numbers, really. It seems a little low. -6.8. Just these tiny adjustments, man, to get. That looks really dead center. Now I just need to go a little left on this one, and I think we're looking good. Okay, I'm gonna do this. Oh, that's farther in the wrong direction. I'll do like 0.5 on that. I'm curious though if I could just there we go. Let's see. That's not too bad, but I'm a little off to the right a little bit. So I'm gonna do a full 1 on that axis there. Oh, that's too far. Damn. 0.8, I guess. Why does this seem almost, but not? Why does it seem really weird? I'm gonna change this back to where that was there. Alright, I'm just gonna zero this stuff out on that one. Okay. So obviously I need to go more left. So 0.8 right there. That one. You're like 0.7. 0.7. I'm curious what that other one is. That's like center right there. Curious what this does. I'm gonna do something extreme right here and see what this adjustment does. Can't remember. Oh, okay. So that goes far off that way then, I guess. Let's go 10. That goes far off that way. Interesting enough. But I think this is what we're aiming for at the end of the day, though. So if I went 0.7 as well in that direction, I see what's going on. It's that alignment, man. That alignment. Let's go 0.5. That is like so close to center right there. It's looking real good. 0.6. This is like right in the smackaroni. So if I was aiming down my sights right now. Okay, that's obviously off to the right more. So I need to go for it. It's a little hard to see because it's really not that dark. There we go. It's a little easier. So it's... I need to go a little bit more to the left, it looks like. Okay, let me just get that one off a little bit. I'm just noticing weird things from it, you know? That's like center right there. It looks real good. I think that'll work. Okay, now I need to worry about the hand. The left hand, particularly. So this is the pulse. That's looking pretty good. The reload animation is just standard, by the way. It's not... It's just a standard animation that after reload, I can add a particular one if I want to. You notice the scope's interesting. Like, when I move, it moves with it, which is kind of funky. I'm kind of liking it, though. I'm not going to lie. Even though it looks kind of weird. Alright. Let me go ahead and fix that left hand real quick and pull it down a little bit. And then that should finish it. Let me go ahead and check the chat real quick. I haven't been checking the chat at all. Make sure. We had 2 viewers, by the way. Thank you, if you're still watching. Thank you. Thank you for coming and watching. Do appreciate it. Let's go back in and fix this here. So left. So this is going to fix my left hand, by the way. Have all the settings up in there. So I'm going to keep it off to the right hand screen so I can work on it there. So I need to go down with my hand. I believe that number here would make it go down. So I need to go down like probably 3. Whatever. This is the one where I probably should have a template of a hand, by the way. Like I always start out with a hand. Okay, so that went down lower. But I'm noticing that my thumb is still clipping pretty hardcore. And this, even when I'm like running, it's clipping pretty bad. But I think my hand placement for lowering is pretty good. So what I might do is rotate my hand a little bit, I think. So let's try that. I need to rotate, left hand rotation. Interesting. So that's on the axis. So if I do like 10. Does that matter? And I Control P. So it's a little hard to remember which one does what. And you'll know right away. Oh, that didn't seem like it did anything though. Weird enough. Okay. Oh, you know what I can do? I can push out the thing to like a... it was on 12, so I'll just push like 15. And see that changes. Changes in increments, it seems like. That's all it does. Okay, so that pulled it out, but it pulled it out a little too far. So if I did like maybe 14, I think I'm looking pretty good. Oh, put a hand on. That's what I'm saying. It's like I should have hands already equipped. So that's not looking too bad, to tell you the truth. Not bad at all. Oh, this is what it looks like in third person because I don't have all my armor on. So let's say if I wanted to just kind of replace my armor like this, get my chest in here, this one here. Whoops. Need legs, bro. There we go. That's what it looks like in third person right here. You can't really see anything. My shoulders are really huge, but you can kind of see where the kind of goes in there a little bit. Go back to here. That's not looking too bad. Obviously I need to change the sound effects and all that stuff, a whole bunch of animations. But for now, that's not looking bad at all. I'm going to go ahead and minimize the screen here for that one. I'm going to go ahead and go here. I'm going to change in name and change it to its correct name. So this will happen when it shows up in the UI. So if I went here and played it now, and I went and pressed I, this is where my weapons stuff exists. I blow that up a little bit. There we go. Blow it up now. There you go. Now you can see it. That's what it looks like here. I also need to change the thumbnail. All that stuff. Damage is weird as well. But I'm going to close that, and that's not looking... That's kind of cool, that sight. Like, when you move, it kind of does like a little isometric. It's weird, but I don't know. Kind of growing to like it just a little bit. But I will try to make it look like what it should look like originally, you know? There you go. All right, let's go ahead, and I'm gonna go ahead and probably wrap up the stream right here. I'm gonna load up the maps that I've been loading all my weapons in. So I have like a weapon showcase level type thing. Up in here, I've been putting all the weapons in here as like a showcase pretty much. I have like the lumen lighting on right now for this area. So I'm gonna go ahead and just, whoops. Weapons, legendary, there's one. Here it is. I want to make sure I have the blueprint, change it here. Put it 90 degrees like that, and I'll put you for 100. Oh yeah. That looks pretty good. Alright, I'm gonna save all. Whoops, don't do that. Save all. And if I wanted to, I could just play it from here right now. Play please. There we go. So yeah, this is what I have here. I'm just gonna add, I'll do all the King's Fall stuff real quick. Yeah, I don't have a whole bunch of armor in and stuff at the moment because it takes a while to add it in, but I figure I'll probably be adding some more later on. Whole inventory system thing going up here. You can also use a whatchamacallit, a controller as well. I'm using keyboard and mouse obviously right now, but you can use a controller with this, which is quite nice. It's like it's a template that I ended up getting, but I ended up implementing the system that I'm using with this, so everything's used through a skeletal mesh build. It wasn't before. Everything was attached to a bone, which was not what I wanted at all, but now I have it set up so I can import any Destiny like mesh in here, and it will go with the skeleton it has because everything's under one skeleton, so kind of cool. And it's pretty sleek UI as well, so I really do like it a lot. So I got a sword here. So you can see it a little bit better. So I need to set it up, by the way, when I go in the blueprint. When I pick up a sword, it goes to third person. So that's something I need to figure out. And also I got really janky animations for hitting an enemy. Really, really janky stuff. So here's a whole bunch of the weapons here that I got already. I actually quite like... this is the pulse for that one. Here's a scout. Mags are coming out the wrong direction, but that's okay. And then here's the pulse right here. It looks pretty good in here. Not too bad. And also, the whole inventory system that's here is, since this guy, like, it is pretty much something that to plop into a map, which is what I wanted to do, because I can control all the lighting stuff that happens there. It's like a whole 3D mesh that's there. So if I wanted to, I can jump into his environment in the camera view, and there I am right there. That's what it looks like in a weird mode where you can't see the player and see the player at the same time. It's very, very odd, but it's kind of interesting how that kind of works. Anyway, I think that's gonna pretty much wrap it up for that end there. You know what I mean? I'm gonna change up the weapon though. So I got the weapons here, so I can choose to either drop this weapon right here. So did it drop it? Take it. Oh, to drop it, you need to unequip it first, and then click it, and then drop weapon. So there it is right there. So there it is. I actually quite like that. It works actually pretty nicely as a pulse, to tell you the truth. It's not too bad. Anyway, I think that's it for the stream, guys. The two people that I saw that came in, thank you for joining in on this. I really do appreciate it. I'm going to go ahead and save everything right here. Whoops. Save. There we go. Even though I think everything's already saved. Anyway, thank you guys for joining the stream. I really do appreciate it. If you have any questions later, it should be in the comments below. Join the Discord. Not my Discord, but the Destiny model rip Discord if you want to do kind of what I'm doing here. So, yeah. Thank you, and have a good